One thing that this pandemic has taught us all is that insurance should be a top priority for both engaged couples and wedding professionals. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. My name is Andrea Eppolito, and we are here today celebrating life, luxury, and above all else, love. We're going to come together every week and talk about all things weddings, events, luxury, lifestyle. And so, if these are things that you are equally obsessed with, welcome. You have found the right place. Please go ahead, hit the subscribe button, follow along. Everything I do on this channel is here for you. And so over the last few months, I've had a number of people reach out and ask me to make a video about wedding insurance, business insurance, a little something called E&O insurance. And from the time that I first started my business, I have required all of my couples to purchase personal wedding insurance. I take it so seriously that I even note it in my contract that my couples must buy a $1 million policy. Now, wedding insurance in Las Vegas, wedding liability insurance, is very often required by the venues, especially the venues on the Strip. Now, this is not uncommon for large brand hotels, for upscale properties. And what wedding liability insurance does is it protects the physical building and the business from things like property damage and injury that may occur during an event. So let me give you an example of that. Say a light falls that somebody has set up and it causes wall damage. Liability insurance would protect the couple and the planner for any damage and any resulting liability that would come from that. Or maybe a guest trips and falls over a wire. If there's a financial burden that comes or responsibility that results in something like this that occurs at a wedding, your wedding liability insurance will cover that. Now, you can buy that liability insurance online from someplace like WedSafe, Wedshore, or even Progressive. And you can typically get about $1 million of insurance for anywhere from $80 to $175, depending on how many people you're having at your wedding, what you're including, and what exactly you're trying to insure. Now, what that does not cover, and what a lot of people are asking about right now, are insurance policies that are going to cover cancellation and postponement. Cancellation and postponement insurance is in addition to liability insurance. It is also available through your major providers, through Progressive, through WedSafe, and this type of insurance is there to protect the couple, to protect the client financially. So depending on the circumstances, this will cover you if you have non-refundable deposits that you are trying to get back. It'll cover you if you have to cancel or postpone the wedding due to a reason beyond your control. Now, in the past, I have had clients book this and then be able to use it to make the adjustments to pay the relocation fees for COVID. However, there are a couple of places now where when you go to buy your cancellation or your postponement insurance, it'll say very specifically, for reasons unknown to you at the time. So obviously, COVID being a worldwide pandemic, you wouldn't be able to use that. So you want to be really careful and read the fine print of what it is that you're signing. Now, there are additional types of insurances that couples can choose to buy. Things that will protect very specific items or very specific services. So for example, I have had a bride insure her 2 wedding dresses. Together, her dresses, her headpieces, her jewelry, her shoes, the entire outfitting, the fashion story, cost about $50,000. Now, that's a lot of money to invest in your dresses and in the way that you look. So it made sense for her to add those items to her policy. I had another couple that wanted to make sure that they were protected against lost and theft. They had heard horror stories about gifts going missing or things breaking, and they just wanted to make sure that none of that happened to them. You're able to really customize as a client. If you're a couple out there, if you're a couple and you're saying, I want to buy insurance, you can truly customize what it is that you're going to insure and what you're going to include. Now, most venues, most professionals who do require insurance ask that you buy it at least 30 days in advance of the wedding. I personally suggest buying your insurance, especially your liability, your cancellation, and your postponement insurance, as soon as you can. It's never too soon to protect yourself because you just don't know what could possibly happen. So as soon as you've selected a date and a space, go ahead and buy that insurance. Again, you're looking at around $65 to $100 for liability insurance. You're looking for about $125 and up for a cancellation and postponement insurance policy. This is a very nominal cost, and it's going to buy you peace of mind that simply can't be matched, especially right now. Don't forget that due to COVID, there were a number of companies that have a note about cancellation and postponement for factors not previously known to you. You want to specifically look for and ask for a COVID clause. And if you're not sure of what you're signing, speak to a wedding planner, speak to the representative from your insurance company. Don't buy anything until you fully understand what you're committed to. Now, I think it is important that all couples, all engaged couples, and our clients are always fully protected. But it is equally important that we protect our own businesses. So if you are a wedding pro out there, sadly, this is a place that I've seen so many of my colleagues and my friends either fail or fall down or have an issue. As a creative business owner, there are a few policies that you really need to have and that you absolutely should understand. So the first is a general liability insurance policy. So this is sometimes called small business insurance or commercial liability, and it protects your business against any small claim that is made for bodily injury, damage to property, personal injury. So say someone comes to your place of business and is hurt. A general liability policy may cover their medical costs. Or if you're working on somebody else's property and you're at a venue and in the course of your work, somebody is injured, they can opt to sue you. And if you are found liable, your general liability insurance would cover replacements, repairs, or any type of light medical. General liability will even go so far as to cover you in the event that someone's reputation is damaged by something that you or your employees say or write about them. It's very much a catch-all, and so it's the liability insurance that almost all small businesses have and buy immediately. Now, what happens though is they stop there. They feel like, I have a policy, I'm insured, I'm good. That's not always the case. You may want to go a step further and consider something that is called a BOP. Now, this is a business owner's policy. It combines general liability and property insurance. So while it doesn't cover your personal property, especially if you work from home, it does cover things that the business uses. So laptops, printers, special cameras, anything that the business owns and uses to operate would be covered in a BOP policy, and it'll help you replace anything that is lost, damaged, or stolen during the course of your work. If you do have a home-based business, then there are very specific policies for home-based businesses. So these are combinations of liability, general liability, and business owners. And I know it sounds redundant. Every single state, every single place is going to have different requirements, which is why I'm kind of going through all of them with you. But if you work from home, say you have a vendor or a partner come over and they trip over your bag in your office and they twist their ankle, or a client comes to the house and they put something down and they break a glass and they cut their hand. Your home-based business insurance policy is going to keep the business separate from your personal homeowner's insurance. It's going to cover all of the things. It's going to cover the general liability. It's going to cover injury. It's going to cover property damage. So you really want to sit down with an insurance agent, state by state, and just say, this is where I live, this is what I do, this is where I work. What do I need to protect myself? What do I need to protect the business? What do I need to protect my property? The thing that you absolutely must have, though, no matter where you live, no matter what you do, is professional liability insurance. Now, this is also known as E&O insurance, which is errors and omissions. This is an indemnity insurance policy that protects you against negligent performance if you are sued. So, as we know, anyone can sue anyone for anything. You can indict a ham sandwich if you are so inclined. At this particular point, a customer could believe that you failed them in some way. They could believe that you did something that you should not have done, or that you didn't give them a certain piece of advice that would have changed the outcome of their wedding. They can feel that your professional services have fallen short and that you've made a mistake. Professional liability insurance, E&O insurance, is going to protect you by covering the costs that you'll incur in defending yourself against these claims. So your E&O insurance can do things like cover your legal fees. It can cover your defense fees. It can take care of any settlements that you may want to make or any judgments that are actually levied against you. Now, most small businesses don't get E&O insurance. Why? Because it's very expensive. However, in my opinion, I have it. It is worth every single cent, because whether a client just perceives you as having done something wrong, or if you just make a human error, and we all make human errors, if you are ever to be found liable, a lawsuit can absolutely demolish your business, and it can take away everything that you've worked so hard for. But if you have a small business policy, if you have errors and omissions insurance, you will be covered. Everything from legal fees, libel, slander, staffing issues, contract issues, any claim arising from services that are rendered can be covered in your E&O insurance policy. Now, look, insurance, contracts, accounting, these things are not sexy, they're not fun, they're not glamorous, and they certainly don't make for pretty Pinterest pictures. But these are utter necessities for every small business, especially small creative business. Because as an industry, our ability to do the things that we do, to do the things that we love, and to service our clients is rooted in having a foundation of business that is properly set up, and insurance is a tremendously big part of that. So please ensure that you're covered. Reach out to your local agency today, and if you're a couple and you're investing your time, your money, and your emotions in this once-in-a-lifetime event, do not go into it with or without a planner, without insurance. Whatever you're doing, please stop now. I'm going to link some references for you in the bio. Go down and initiate an insurance policy for your wedding. I hope that you never need it, but if you ever do, you will certainly be grateful that you have it so that you don't have to encounter any issues that make a tough situation even harder. As always, I love having you here. Thank you so much for being a part of my life and my world. If you haven't done so yet, click subscribe, join the mailing list, never miss a tip as we come together celebrating life, luxury, and above all else, love. I am Andrea Eppolito, and I will see you again next week. Thanks so much.